Okay guys, welcome back to a new one. As you saw in the thumbnail there, we're going to be making some homemade do-it-yourself coot decoys. Alright, I had a hunt this last weekend where I noticed that the birds were really wanting to work in and land with the coots, which is something I hear about a lot, but it's not something I see a whole lot. But now I've seen it. It was birds that were super pressured. Alright, a lot of public land hunters out and they were taking bad shots. These birds were very nervous. They wanted to land nowhere near any other ducks. They were so desperate to not land with ducks that they were actually landing in the middle by themselves and swimming up into live ducks. But one thing I noticed early in the morning, right at, I think there's maybe 5-10 minutes before shooting light, we had maybe a dozen coots swim into our spread. And they stayed there throughout the first maybe 20-25 minutes of the morning. That's when we had our action. That's when we had birds that were close enough to shoot at. And after that, sun came up, coots left. The ducks would hit a wall about 100 yards out, they'd flare every single time. And it happened with other groups as well. And I noticed that no one had coot decoys, but the ducks were swimming and landing with the coots throughout the morning. I could see them with my binoculars out in the middle. Happened all morning long. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna make some coot decoys, and we're gonna have them at our disposal whenever we want. And we're gonna do it for cheap too. That's gonna be the big thing here. I don't know what coot decoys typically run, but either way, any new decoys you're gonna be spending a lot of money on. So I figure, you know what, we have some leftover ones that I don't use anymore. Let's turn those into coot decoys. Let's do it right now. So I have 6 old hen mallard decoys. They're just not really used anymore. I think these are the old flambeau style ones. Yeah, so old flambeaus. These are the redhead, yeah, the Bass Pro redhead brand. All right, they look fine. And then we have one of these old flambeau decoys here. And these just don't get used anymore. I've got new decoys from Decoy Central, and I just don't need these older ones anymore. I think I use these during teal season a little bit, but yeah. Went ahead and cleaned them up. Just gave them a quick rinse with water. And yeah, they look honestly probably about as clean as I ever have since they've come out of the package. But they're not done being cleaned. First things first, we are going to get some alcohol. All right, I got the heavier stuff, 91% isopropyl alcohol. And I have some paper towels. Let's get a little chair here. Okay. So real simple. I'm just gonna do one. Just to show you guys what I'm doing. Then I'm gonna do it to all of them. Let them dry. We're gonna hit them with the paint. It's gonna be that easy. All right. So we'll start off with this guy here. And I'm just gonna use like 2, maybe 3 paper towels per decoy. And looks like this is gonna need to be opened. 1 second. Okay, so get plenty of alcohol on there, just about like that. And just give this a real general wipe down. And the reason we're doing this is so that paint actually sticks to the decoy as opposed to any debris, dirt, or mud, dust, anything that may be left over on the decoy that just a general wash down that I gave them earlier didn't quite pick up, because I just rinsed them with water just to get the big clumps of mud and dirt off them. But yeah, got a good shine to it now, and we're just gonna set it right back down and do the next one, and that's it. We got 5 more to do. So you see how I'm doing it? Let it dry. Once it's dry, we'll hit it with paint, so that's when we'll see you next. All right, so these are all cleaned up. Yeah, there's still a couple spots where it might be a little bit wet, but that's okay, because we're gonna start with the face and the bill. I'll throw a picture on the screen right now of what these coots look like and kind of what I'm going for. They have the white bill, and then I guess it's like their forehead. They have like a little white patch on it. So I'm just gonna be doing like the front of their face white, and I'll do the white first, and I'll lay the black on the rest of the body afterwards. So let's get the white on there, and I'm just using Rust-Oleum paint and primer. The satin one, you don't want the glossy. So we're gonna make this as matted color down as we can. Just pop the damn thing off. Isn't that lovely? Now it's probably gonna spray me. Okay. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. Whew. So, just gonna have them down, and we're just gonna blast him in the face a few. Get that bill nice and white, and the front of his face a little bit. Get the bottom of his bill. And if you go past his bill like I'm doing here, it's okay because you're gonna go over this all with black anyways. But yep. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like. And I'm actually gonna go, I'm gonna go 2 coats of each color. Let me show this front camera here. Yeah, so that's his face. I'm gonna hit that with all of them just like that. Once it dries, give it like 5-10 minutes, let it dry. Hit it again, just because I don't want this paint to wear off after a couple hunts. And it's taken on pretty quick. So yeah, we'll let that dry, hit it with another coat, and then we'll get back to you once I'm to get these all in the black. All right, so that's a second coat on there. Real nice and heavy. It's probably still a little bit tacky, as all of them I'm sure are. But we're gonna go ahead and get started on getting the first coat of black on here. So same exact paint as I used last time, the 2-in-1 primer and paint, satin black. I just got 1 can. I think that should be plenty to get 2 coats on each of these. Another thing that could be handy, and you're probably gonna need, is like a sheet of cardboard or a piece of paper, and that's just, or if you have like the blue masking tape, the painter's tape, tape that bill up once it dries. I kind of forgot to get it today. So as I'm painting it, you're gonna see me just use this, just kind of like to block out the bill from getting any black on it. But I might stay away from the head until this dries. I don't wanna be dipping this into the bill, but yeah, let's get to it. I'm just gonna do this while it's sitting down here on the ground. Give this a good shaking. See if we can get it off without breaking the cap off like I did on the last one. Man, they really don't want you to get in here. There we go. Okay, start getting the black on here. Oh yeah, that looks awesome. And the thing is with spray paint, you don't want to be like right up on certain areas just because it kind of gets globby. And obviously you don't want that. You want it to be a nice even coat. Flip the sides on it here. Okay, and that's a good start until we can, you know, get the head a little bit better. We'll let that dry as is, and we can get the rest of these some nice coats. But I don't want to pick it up because there's some wet paint on the bottom there. But actually, you know what? I might be able to pick it up right over here. No, I can't. That's all wet too. That's it right there. You guys can probably see it. Yeah, I'll show you the finished product here in a minute. You guys get the general idea of what I'm doing. It's pretty straightforward, really. But I'm liking how these are looking already. So yeah, we'll see when they're all done. Okay, and here we have the finished product. They're still very wet, as you can see. I'm definitely gonna have to touch up the bills. Let me get a closer look here. I'm gonna have to touch up a couple of the bills. The black paint kind of bled down, and I kind of lost that white on their forehead. But other than that, I think they look pretty darn good. They're awfully glossy right now. It's just because the paint's really wet and the light's right on top of them. But other than that, they look good. They're going to be nice and loud in the water. And yeah, I think they're really going to show off, especially if we have really dirty water. That black is just going to pop with that white bill. And I think they look good. I'm not going to pick them up. They're still drying. But yeah, for the most part, that's it. Real simple. I think each can of paint was like $5 maybe. And the alcohol was like $3. But you know, pretty cheap, a lot cheaper than, you know, going buying a half dozen. I want to say a half dozen is probably like 50, 60 bucks maybe. So yeah, they're kind of exclusive. Not a lot of companies make them. So, you know, they can mark up that price a little bit more. So if you have the ability to use a few of these old hen mallard decoys, or, you know, whatever kind of decoys you got that maybe you don't use, maybe you just got a new shipment of new decoys, you got some leftover ones you want to use specifically for this, go for it, man. But yeah, keep an eye out for my next couple videos. I'm sure I will have these in use, and I can kind of let you know how I did with them. Like I said, that last spot, I'll be right back there this next weekend in southern Wisconsin, so I'm excited to see what them coots think, and more importantly what the ducks think of the Coot decoys. But yeah, we're in a real light spread. Just gonna put these kind of on the edge. I'm gonna act as if these were goose decoys, because I kind of use my goose decoys as confidence decoys, so I'm gonna use them in the same manner. I usually have the geese kind of on the outskirts of my spread. I'm gonna do the same with them. All right, and see if maybe those ducks are gonna be more prone to land with those Coot decoys. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you wanna see more, subscribe to my channel. Hunting season just getting started. And I'd like to have you here along and ride with us. So we'll see you out there.